Hi Winnie. So I've got the first of your 2 submitted tasks here, so really well done. It's great to see you continually submitting this work, and we know it takes a long time, so thank you ever so much for your commitment, and you really are doing the best thing to improve your English. So this one was the letter. And first off, really well done for the form of your letter. You've clearly recognised that it is a letter and not an essay, so you've started with dear, you've ended with yours sincerely, and that is fantastic. Okay, so it's clearly a letter, which is perfect. Now, let's have a read then. So, dear Mr. Brown, first of all, I would like to thank you for spending time on reading my letter about the unpleasant experience I had in your restaurant last night. Good. I booked a table for dinner to celebrate the marriage anniversary with my wife a month ago. At the time of reservation, I was confirmed a table with harbour view. However, we were assigned to a table near the entrance with no view last night. Your manager on duty simply turned down our request for a change without explanation. Worse than this was the food you served. We were told that all vegetarian main courses had been sold during lunch. As a result, my wife could only bread, soup and salad. I believe the service and food provided by your restaurant last night are unacceptable to the kind of restaurant of your price. I therefore would like to ask for a total refund of $120. You can credit it to my bank account or send me a check. Please reply within 10 days or I will have to publish my story and rank a low score of your restaurant in food forums on the internet. Yours sincerely. Okay, well done. Some really great vocabulary in here and great imagination for what happened. Perfect. All right, let's see if there's anything that we can change. Now then, this first sentence, I would say that structurally this one would actually be better at the end of your letter. So instead of first of all, we'd take that out and we'd say, I'd like to thank you for spending time reading my letter. So not on, reading my letter about the experience we had in your restaurant last night. Okay. Or if we wanted to be more concise, because it would be at the end of the letter, we could say, thank you for spending time reading my letter. Yours sincerely. And then your name at the bottom, okay? Because if it comes at the beginning, it sounds as if there has already been a letter, when in fact this is the letter that is complaining. So first, Mr. Brown needs to read this information, and then we say thank you for reading the letter, okay? So instead of that first sentence, it could be that we say something along the lines of, I am writing regarding our experience at your restaurant last night. Okay, because normally at the beginning of a letter, of an email, we would just give a quick indication of what we are writing about, particularly if it is a first letter or email. So I'm writing regarding our experience at your restaurant last night. Okay, then we get into the description. I booked a table for dinner to celebrate our wedding anniversary. So, in fact, let's go back once more. So I booked a table for dinner with my wife to celebrate our wedding anniversary a month ago. Okay. At the time of the reservation, we were confirmed to have a table with a harbour view. However, we were given instead of assigned. Assigned is normally for example, a piece of homework or a project. So we were given a table near the entrance with no view last night. Full stop. Your manager on duty simply turned down our request to change without explanation. Okay, well done. Worse than this was the food you served. Full stop. We, capital letter, we were told that all vegetarian main courses had been sold, great use of past perfect there, had been sold during lunch. Full stop. As a result, my wife could only eat bread, soup and salad. Okay, well done. Next paragraph. I believe the service and food provided by your restaurant last night were, because it's the past, unacceptable for the kind... instead of kind of restaurant of your price, we're going to say unacceptable for your prices. Okay. I therefore would like to ask for a total refund of $120 US. You can credit it to my bank account or send me a check. Good, well done. Please reply, so know me, so just please reply within 10 days or I will have to publish my story and rank a low score of your restaurant in food forums on the internet. Instead of rank, we would say and give your restaurant a low rating in food forums on the internet. Okay. As well, we could possibly go one step further and use a really good phrase here and say, I will have no choice but to publish my story and give your restaurant a low rating in food forums on the internet. Okay. That way we're going one step further than have to, so I will have no choice but to. Okay, it makes it very strong here. Yours sincerely, da da da. And remembering that we could put between this paragraph and yours sincerely, thank you for spending time reading my letter. Possibly as well, I hope to hear from you soon. Yours sincerely. Okay. Great work, well done. You've got all of the key information here, like I said, and great vocabulary. It's just a case of a little bit of moving around, so this sentence here, and some of your sentences, making them individual sentences, okay, because we're describing a situation, all right? But yeah, really well done, fantastic work. Let's go on to your next piece then. So this is your second one, and the question that you had was, in the modern world it is possible to shop, work and communicate with people via the internet and live without any face-to-face contact with others. Is it a positive or negative development in your opinion? To what extent do you support this development? Okay, well done. So the first paragraph, which is our introduction, let's look at that. The issue of whether resolving our lives around the internet without human interaction is a positive trend or not is a debatable topic since the advent of the internet. In my opinion, the internet has brought many advantages to our societies, but we should not allow the use of it to eliminate interactions between people, which are harmful to our emotional well-beings. Okay, let's have a look then. So, the first one, you're being descriptive, which is good. You're outlining what the problem is here. So the issue of whether revolving rather than resolving, revolving, R-E-V-O-L-V-I-N-G, revolving our lives around the internet without human interaction is a positive trend or not, is a debatable topic. Now, has been a debatable topic since, because we've got since, so we're using the present perfect, has been a debatable topic since the advent of the internet. Okay, good. In my opinion, the internet has brought many advantages to our societies, but we should not allow the use of it to eliminate interactions between people, which are harmful to our emotional well-beings. Now, be careful here, because you've got eliminate interactions between people, which is, we don't want to eliminate those because they are important, but then we've said which are harmful to our emotional well-beings, when what we're trying to say is that eliminating these would be harmful, but in fact we've said that these interactions are harmful. So we need to be careful there. So the internet has brought many advantages to our societies, but we should not allow the use of it to eliminate interactions between people, full stop. This would be harmful to our emotional well-being. Okay. First off, now, instead of first off, it would be best here to use firstly. Firstly, F-I-R-S-T-L-Y. Firstly, there is ample evidence that the internet, So ample evidence that the internet improves many aspects of our lives. Well done. Relatives and friends living far apart can now stay in touch on a daily basis through the use of instant communication software such as Skype and Facebook. Well done. Brilliant. Very well described. Similarly, work efficiency is highly increased thanks to email technology and powerful search engines on the internet. Good. Brilliant. Moreover, people living in remote areas can save time on travel instead of commute. Commute is going to work, so can save time on travel by shopping online. Good. All these examples support that reliance on the internet is a positive trend. Brilliant. Really well done. You've made it very clear at the end here that you're linking this to the question. Why is it a positive trend? This is why it's a positive trend. Really good. Really, really good. As well, I particularly like the way that you've started with your main point, you've given lots of evidence, and then you've explained why this evidence is showing that it's a positive trend. Okay, so by reducing time on travelling, by increasing work efficiency. So really well done. Very good. Next, however, good. So a really strong phrase there to show that we're now talking about the opposite side of that. However, we should remember that the internet is for connecting people, not disconnecting. Okay, we should use social media in providing support to people who are dear to us instead of using a fake identity to make friends on the internet. Okay, well done. Rather than answering emails from work well beyond working hours, we better spend the time with our friends and families. Now, this one, we better is like saying we should. So, for example, you're ill, you'd better go to the doctor. Okay, so what we need to say here instead is time would be better spent with our friends and families. Okay. Then I would use a full stop there because it's starting to get a little bit long. It is often through face-to-face interaction that we can feel the warmth and emotional support, no S, we need in order to stay healthy emotionally. Okay, well done. Now, just like the last paragraph where you had this fantastic sentence, all these examples support that reliance on the internet is a positive trend. We need something similar here to say why is this negative? Why does this go against us being in a positive situation if we rely on the internet? So we need to add in an explanation at the end of here. All in all, brilliant, great use of that phrase. I support the development of the internet in bringing more convenience to our daily living and work. So here to our daily lives, lives, and work. However, so this would be a new sentence here, so and work, full stop. However, capital H, we should not let the use of it hinder our relationships with others. Okay. One other general thing is that with internet in English, it doesn't have a capital I, so it's a lowercase I, the internet in English. Well done. This is a really strong essay. You've got a nice conclusion, you've got a nice introduction. This paragraph, like we said, is very good. This paragraph is just lacking that little bit at the end, which tells us why this is important to this question. Okay, it's almost like it's just a little bit incomplete. We need to make it really clear to the examiner, this is why I've said this, because it links to this question. Okay, but like I said, really strong piece of work, really good letter, so you should be really proud. Really well done.